Hey y'all, I'm Janelle Yarbrough, and welcome to Bloggers and Friends. This is your podcast for discussions around relevant topics and experiences that resonate with the culture. For those of you who roll with me, you know we talk a lot about embracing the possibility of change. We'll continue to touch on that and lots more. Sound good? Word. Let's get into it. Hey y'all. We are here today with another episode, and we are excited to have a guest, which I'm going to now call, because it's your second time, so I'm going to call you a friend to the podcast. Last time you were on, you had a new project that you were talking about, and we were able to touch on your book. And today we're here to talk about some new things. So if you didn't get to hear the last episode that we did with the guest, please be sure to go back and listen to that so you can be caught up and brought up to speed on the things that we might be talking about today. But we have author, documentarian, Tigest Beyene joining us again on the show. So welcome. We are excited to have you today and to hear about your new endeavors. So thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. This is fun. Last time we had a good time. We lots of laugh always with you.
We did. I re-listened to it the other day and I was just
Yeah.
tickled, just giggling. It was a good time for sure. So your first book that you released was Love, Sex, and Sorrow. The documentary that you released was called Walk by Faith. And now you're joining us today with a new project.
Yeah, it's my second book called Almost Real. And it has a little twist at the end. So it is kind of like the aftermath a little bit, but I didn't make it so like how would I say it? The first book was very like therapeutic and I was really pouring out certain things and I left a lot of things out because I was just scared, obviously.
Yeah.
And then with the documentary is about my life with the book, so it kind of tied in. But this one is kind of like a fantasy of like my thoughts of like what if this is actually real about like love or just in general. So it does have a little twist in it, does have a lot of real feelings and thoughts that I have. I don't really talk about.
Yeah, so for folks who may be listening to this before they listen to the first podcast that we did, can you tell them a little bit about the first book, Love, Sex, and Sorrow?
So the first book is based on a true event that happened to me about maybe 15 years ago now. At the time when I wrote it, it was very recent. Well, a couple years, maybe like 5, 6 years, but um, pretty much tragic of me being shot by my ex fiance, and then I started to pretty much pick up my life again with telling a story. But the story ends up being about a whole bunch of people and me meeting different people and how I end up being in that situation. Um, and then came the documentary about it because it was kind of like a big thing in Seattle. So,
Yeah,
which I didn't
yeah.
realize that until later. But I mean, our community is so it's like big and small at the same time. So some people know, or some people will be like, "Oh, I saw that," or you know, they seen an article or something. So then we just made it into a documentary.
Yeah. And the documentary, I remember us talking about it in the podcast that we did was shortly after it had released. And I
Yeah.
remember at that time you were saying it still doesn't feel real. Like there
Yeah.
was so much work gone that had gone into the documentary and then into putting on the release of the documentary. And I remember you talking about it hadn't settled with you yet. You were just like,
No.
yeah, that had happened. So how has the documentary, now that it's been released and it's been a while,
Mhm.
how has that project settled in your spirit?
I could say that, oh, I did one. Like if somebody asked me, like So
Check.
I'm
We
like,
did that.
yeah, I'm like, boom, okay, I did that. It's weird because I think I'll see people like friends who like who wants to get into directing or producing and they're like, I just want to do a documentary. I'm like, oh, I did one. And it's kind of like there's a lot to it. Like at first, you look at it, it's a lot of political things too and a lot of
Yeah.
technical things and you really gotta like put your foot down and have a voice.
Mm-hmm.
I think now that it's been like I want to say maybe 2 years, it's
Mm-hmm.
still sometimes people will bring it up to me or they seen it or they want to hear about it. Once they see this book, they're like, "Oh, I googled you and this came up," and I'm like, "Yep, I did that."
Mm-hmm.
But it's still bittersweet, like that it's
Does it
out there. I
does
guess.
it feel like it was closing a chapter or maybe getting closure to a chapter, or did that feel like it's just another layer of the healing process through that chapter?
Yeah, I think the healing got closed up. I'm like, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think it got me started and like, okay, I could really do some stuff. Like I'm not as doubtful. So I'm very like, okay, I know I could do it.
So it gave
I'm
you
like
some like
weird.
confidence, some
Yeah, just a
additional
little
confidence.
bit. Cause
Yeah.
I'm a little off sometimes. So I don't know. Like
Not a little
if
off.
people understand me sometimes when I talk. And then, I have humor a lot with it. And they
Yeah.
think like,
Mm-hmm.
how are you like this? And I'm just like, well, I'm not gonna sit and cry,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. That's part. So, so I think about that way with art. My background is in the performing arts. And so,
Hmm.
like, you get to do your version of the
Hmm.
storytelling. It's almost claiming it
Yep.
versus allowing somebody else to own those feelings and
Hmm.
emotions.
Hmm.
And so, the way that you're able to express yourself might not be in like the breakdown crying or the words
Yeah.
or the conversations with people all the time. It might be through your art, and it sounds like your writing is
Hmm.
your art, right? And that documentary was an extension of it, but that book might have been like your way of communicating and talking about it
Hmm.
without it being these small conversations. Even though I know you had a village of folks
Yeah.
around you, but you are the one who understands you in
Hmm.
that scenario.
Yep. Yep. I agree. I think it's
Hmm.
like that. I think however you feel like expressing it. Some people think, when you're quiet or don't talk about it, like you're going through it tough. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not. Like I'm
Yeah.
really just chilling.
Yeah, and I'm a goofball too, and so sometimes I can like, things that are hard to talk about, I can talk about
Hmm.
them and they're hard to
Yep.
talk about, and sometimes I might be emotional, and then I also there's going to be humor in there somewhere at some point
Hmm.
in time because that's just my personality and it's not me like avoiding it. It's
Hmm.
me it's part of my personality and part of my processing. So along with my art,
Exactly.
sometimes there's humor and sometimes there's
Sometimes, yeah.
tears, and sometimes you get a little mixed bag.
You just don't know what's gonna come
You
out.
just don't know. So now we have your current book. Let's talk about that.
So almost real. I tend to like take my time on a lot of things or just like if I really want to release it. So
Hmm.
before I had it, I let one of my best friends read because she's a bookworm. So we were at a lounge
Hmm.
listening to some music and stuff and it was dying down and she was like, let me see, you said you've been working on, let me read it, I was like, oh my god, I'm so scared because her opinion does mean a lot to me
Yes, yes.
because she keeps it real. So she read it and I went to the bathroom and I came back and she was just still reading. I'm like, okay, what? I'm like, and we got done and she knew the end of it. And she was
Hmm.
like, what? And I was like, you didn't like, is it too much? Like, should I take this out? Should I add more? She was, well, you should do this. But she was like, I think you have something here. Like, I kind of want to know more. Like, I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay. And then gave it to my manager. David was like, okay, wait a minute. What are you going through? And I was like, no, it's not like a romance book. It's just in my head. Like,
Yeah.
and just like, oh, okay. All right. I got follow-up questions. So
Hold
with
up.
some
Are there
more,
things I need to know
yeah.
here?
Yeah, that was pretty much what it was. He was like, is there something I don't know? And then I went to an editor and she was like, this is actually pretty nice. She was like, are you in love or something? I was like, no, no, it's not. And then when she read the end, she was, oh my God.
Ah! So it's a good ending. It's an ending that you got to be patient
Yeah.
and wait for.
Yeah.
But so it sounds like other people, as they're being introduced to it, feel like it's a love story.
Yes, it
And
is.
okay, so it is
It's
a
a lot
love
of
story.
fantasy love
Okay.
story. It
Mm-hmm.
is very get your thinking in your own world, you
Mm-hmm.
know. There's
Mm-hmm.
a plot twist obviously at the end
Mm-hmm.
because I tend to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? It does give you hope.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and certain things that I felt, you know, or that I went through with someone and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna just say it, you know.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
are these parts that were like pieces of experiences that you've had
Yeah.
before with different relationships and scenarios kind of
Yeah.
lumped up into a story,
Hmm.
but it's not, you wouldn't consider it like this is a true story. This is inspired by some real
Yeah.
experiences and
Some
also
real
a little fantastical
experiences,
sprinkles.
you know, some inspirational, you know, things. And I try to make the book inspirational or like try to make it like, you know, it's okay if you fell in love and or if you
Yeah.
want to fall in love, like that's okay. You know, some people get scared and go, which I agree, you know, it's a scary thing. But I think also you just have to, you know, try a little bit. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's a interesting. I'm telling something. When I reread it, I was like, "What was I saying?"
I can't believe me right
I
now.
can't believe I said this about this person.
Right.
That's what I was on the whole time, and I was like, "Damn, I did it again." I was like,
I love it.
"That's
I
literally
love
what
it.
it was."
Yeah.
So yeah, but it was good. It was. I enjoyed writing it because I really like focus on it, and that's like my thing. You
Hmm.
know, and it's okay to, you know, the whole love thing. It's okay, especially with like black love. Like it's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So this book feels obviously for obvious reasons very different than your first one. What was the process for you writing this book? Was it very just organic in that like I love to write, here are some thoughts, here's me putting it together? Was it inspired by something or what was your process? Did you tuck yourself away? Did you write it over time? How did you make it come
Yeah.
to
I
fruition?
yeah, the process was I was doing it. I do a lot of my things either at night or early
Mm-hmm.
morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I think because I just needed like a quiet area, but I also have music. It's weird. Um, but it was a little inspired. You know, I see a lot of my closest friends that are married or in like long relationships, or, you know, and I see like, you know, obviously you have girl talk. You're like, okay. But
Yeah.
when I see like the happiness part, I'm like, oh, that'd be cool if I experienced that. Because some of the things that's in there in the book, I've never really experienced.
Mm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's why it's like almost real.
Mm-hmm.
That's where
Yeah.
that came from. So it's just like it's almost, but it's not, you know, but I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't mind experiencing it. So I really took away like my time alone. I still did my everyday thing, but I did set some time in the evening to just focus on that. On my lunch breaks, I'm in the car, just, you know, rereading it, making sure like, okay, does this make the flow of it?
Mm-hmm.
Getting opinions, you know, and then really just like I kept on reading it, kept on reading it, kept on reading because I was just thinking, I'm like, this is really in my head, like, and
Mm-hmm.
then the ending made me feel more like, okay, this is how I would want it to be.
Mm.
Because I like, you know, it's good to, like I said, I go back to the whole fantasy thing. It's okay. Cause sometimes you be in this bubble with somebody and then you have to leave,
Mm.
right? And once you leave, you got to go back to reality. You
Mm-hmm.
can't go back in the bubble yet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like that. That's how I kind of like was imagining it
Mm. Mm-hmm.
and describing the person, but not more of a physical, is more of a, like not the physical appearance of more of like the feeling, the emotional aspect of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
How that's was my main focus, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes you look at the outside of somebody, you're like, oh, okay. But once you have a conversation with somebody and they're really like, you know, not your type or not really like you would think, then you're just like, oh shit, this is actually a dope person. And I see why now. So that's kind of
Yeah.
pretty much how it was describing how the person made me feel
Mm.
instead of how the physical out of it, you know?
Mhm. Mhm.
That was like my main focus
Mhm.
in the conversations.
It's interesting because I feel like I've been having a lot of conversations with women
Mhm.
just around like their desires for partnership, their
Yeah.
um their journey in
Mhm.
pursuing
Mhm.
partnership, their openness, being open
Mhm.
to partnership and
I think
and
it's like I see what you're saying. It's very interesting how people I don't know. I think it's like a tricky, because we could be open, but it's like, are you really open minded? Like,
yeah.
like,
Eh, Well, and I think the conversations are what's really important because I think we see a lot of things, and I think the conversations between both single women, dating women, married women,
mhm,
long-term married women. I think there's so much opportunity for just gems to be dropped because
mhm,
there's not enough conversations, in my opinion,
mhm,
about the things that are important and can sustain long-term relationships and partnerships and the qualities that
mhm,
people should consider in
mhm,
selecting partners that are going to take them the distance. It's almost, I feel like when you have that range of people in conversation, like
mhm,
sometimes single people or people who are dating can well they're the same but different
mhm,
phases of being
mhm,
single,
yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes they can re-inspire and remind people about the parts of themselves that they maybe forgot about or maybe want to
Mhm,
reignite. And then I think for the single and dating people, hearing about things that are important to consider in those relationships, or as they're pursuing partnership and relationship with others can also be important. So it's like that community you're building in
mhm.
in I mean every conversation to me that happens in community is just a gem in itself. Like, right?
Yes, I agree with that. Yeah.
Like women coming together. I'm going to speak to women coming together, specifically
Mhm,
women coming together and just really having those open conversations that can feed like your soul, your spirit, your mind, your heart, like
mhm,
that can challenge your thoughts, that can um, provide additional context and
mhm,
perspective. Like, I think that's just so amazing. And
mhm,
I think it's helpful in thinking about like what you just said about like sometimes they could be great on the outside, or maybe even the opposite, not what you would
the
initially
type.
go for
They
on the
say the type.
outside.
Yeah.
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 But what's important in that conversation, um, I tell people like someone is not automatically fine to me. Like,
Yeah.
are you attracted to them? I don't know. They seem cool. They look handsome. They're
They
nice,
look clean.
but I don't know their mind. Like your mind is a large part of what gets me,
Mhm. Yeah, I'm a big
you know.
conversationist. Like I like
Mhm.
to I enjoy even though sometimes the people I do meet don't really talk a lot,
Mm.
but once I'm like alone with
Mhm.
them and just
Mhm.
really like get talking, a lot
Mhm.
comes out and I'm like, okay, now I see. But I'm a big I observe a lot too.
Yeah.
It's not like stalkerish, when I'm looking at you. I'm just like, no, like so serious. I'm like I will just like watch you like how you eat.
Mhm.
Or, "Oh, I see you ordered that drink, okay."
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
little things or, how they put themselves together or how they, how the way they communicate, Sometimes I feel like some people, they wanna communicate a certain way, but they probably don't know, like, to show it,
Mhm.
their end. And me, I'm just more like, "Just say what? Just say it." Like, get it
Mhm.
out.
Mhm.
Don't speak in I don't know.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
talk. But I do
I
like
get.
somebody's mind. I do like, um, just like chill. If you're like calm, cool, collected, I like
Mhm.
that because I already know I'm a lot in my head. So I need you not to be that, you know? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like you have to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
balanced. Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
thinking a lot, I'm thinking, no, I gotta think a lot. You just chill.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think a lot of people, that's why with this book, it's very like, this could happen,
Yeah.
you know? And if it didn't happen, it's like, that's okay. At least you fantasize it. And, you know, it's like
Mhm.
you know, you're manifesting it, right? And you're
Mhm.
believing in yourself that you could find something like this. Or if you did
Mhm.
experience this, this is how it would look like, stuff like
Mhm.
that.
I think like learning yourself again, it goes back to those conversations
Mm,
about who are you trying to do life with, right? Because
exactly.
there's short-term attractions with like that's cute.
Just because you look good at the lounge with your shoes or whatever, it doesn't mean you're gonna look good daytime and nighttime. It's two different people. Have you really thought about that? I didn't know that shit. I am telling you
You
now.
said because your
The
nighttime look was hitting, but then
nighttime
that
now look was not
daytime,
daytime. And your nighttime thoughts are different from your daytime thoughts.
I am crying. That
You
is
can't tell me that's not
funny.
true. That is
Listen,
true. And when I see you in the
listen.
daytime, I'm like, wait a minute. But their mindset is different on the
Yeah,
daytime. That's why I like to do like
yeah.
daytime dates.
Let me tell you something. I don't even call a date until I know I like you. I'm serious. And I make it clear because I'm not
So,
leading anyone
okay, are
on.
you one of those to be like, oh, we're just hanging out?
That is
That's what I
exactly
do.
what I say. That is exactly
I don't
what I
even know.
say.
You know,
We're
you're
hanging
okay.
out.
So yeah, I just say, oh, I'm gonna hang out. And then my friend goes, oh, it's a date. I'm like, no, he didn't tell me it was a date. He didn't ask me on a date. He said, do you want to go grab this? They're like, well, it's a date. I'm like, no, I didn't ask. Hey, I want to take you on. I need full, complete sentences
Listen,
because I'm gonna look at you like a friend. I'm not gonna look at you any kind of way.
I don't even need you to tell me it's a date.
Date, right?
But it's about how I feel. But I do make that clear to people. Like I'm
Hmm.
not, and I'm not rude about it, but I do
Right.
articulate like the way that I go about getting to know people so
Hmm.
that people aren't like confused or people aren't thrown off by how I'm speaking of it. But no, I absolutely say we are
Hmm.
hanging out until until I know that I like you and there's some level of pursuit happening here, right? And
Right.
I make that distinction so that there is no confusion. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
hang out and I'm cool people and we're gonna have fun when we hang out and those
Yeah.
lines are easy to blur sometimes.
Yep.
And no, we're not dating because I need you to also be very intentional and very clear about what you're
Hmm.
doing in your
Hmm.
pursuit of me.
Hmm.
And so that's how I function. But people are like that. So y'all were on a date. Nope.
Hmm.
We
Nope. We're
absolutely
just
just
hanging
hung
out.
out.
Yeah.
What I appreciate on first dates, and this came with age, right? Because I wouldn't have
Mhm.
thought like this in my early
Mhm.
30s. But I'm like, take me to a coffee
Yeah, I
shop,
like that. I
take me
prefer
to a
that.
wine bar where we have the space and opportunity to have
Mhm.
conversation. Because
Yep.
that conversation is going to tell me about your mind, about who you are, or if you are a thinking man.
I don't do the whole he gotta woo me and no, 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 no. Don't woo me yet. Like
Not
don't I
yet.
need
Get
I
there
need to be 10 toes down. I need
when
to
we're
see what's
dating.
going
When
on.
we're dating,
When
woo
we're
me.
dating, woo me, right? And when I actually feel like I want to be wooed.
Yes, yes.
But no, I'm like that. I prefer that. I prefer us
Yeah.
going somewhere like I love the coffee. I don't mind the wine because I love me some wine. But I
Mhm.
also like to go and like walk somewhere. I like fresh
Mhm.
air, especially now in
Mhm.
Seattle. Or if you
Mhm.
want to go and go to a carnival or something like
Yeah.
just authentic like things like I like to be by the water a lot. Like I don't mind us going sitting down on the bench and I don't mind all that. And I think some people like will lose the value of like
Yeah.
getting to really know somebody.
Yeah. I want space and opportunity to know your mind
Yes. Yeah.
and I don't want that to be and this is where I think people get thrown off sometimes is um it's not that I don't appreciate a well thought
Yeah.
out planned creative date.
Right.
I love those things. Also, that is where feelings um and expectations start,
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
getting blurry because if I'm coming and I'm sitting down and having coffee with you and we had the best time ever, I'm gonna appreciate you more because there's not all the bells and whistles involved.
Mhm.
It was very a clean experience, just you and I.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
If you know, I too love water. I'm a Pisces, so I too love water and being by the water,
Mhm.
and I love walks and I love being in beautiful spaces. But that's simple, right? And if that's what you wanted to do, and that's a clean environment. Like
Mhm.
you're getting to know me, I'm getting to know, and there's not so much put on it, not so much pressure
Mhm.
put onto the situation. Um, and then when we really start feeling like okay, I'm trying to really get to know her, and okay, I'm open to him pursuing me in this
Mhm.
way, right?
Mhm.
Then yeah, go on and sound off those bells and whistles. I understand
Bells
there's
and whistles.
bells and whistles, but I don't
That's
want
what I'm
that
here
pressure
for.
on the top of it
Mhm.
either. It's the little things, the more important part, especially right now in life for me, is like, who are you? Do you know who you are? Because I feel like there's so many people that are mimicking something
Yep.
versus showing up
Yeah.
um, as a whole
Yeah.
human, you know?
Yeah.
How do you feel as though you've grown as a writer between your first book and your second?
I think I still am in that process. The growth of like being a little more confident, being more open,
Hmm.
especially with the love or, life in general. Because I think now I'm at a point in my life, like I do just want to enjoy myself.
Yeah.
And that doesn't look like being outside all the time because I'm tired. Okay. I will
That a
yawn
girl needs her
on the
rest.
clock. I don't play. I love to sleep.
Oh, that is
I
good.
don't even care. So I'm like, you want to go? I want to take a nap, you know? Like, you ever just want to take a nap? I swear, let a man talk about, let's go on a nap date. Let's go. I want to take a nap. Think I'm
Come
playing.
on, nap date. I'm
Because you do too
crying.
much.
You said, are we matched
Are
sleepers?
we matching?
Can
I
we
swear,
even coexist in the
I
same
promise
bed?
you, let a man talk about, you want to take a nap date? Let's go. Because one, I need a nap. Okay.
Oh,
And then just the growth. Like, think I'm trying to still figure out my way of this writing world. I've been doing a
yeah.
lot more writing on music, just trying to
Mm-hmm.
get, because I feel like my words could translate to
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm into that now.
Mm.
So I'm really like plugging myself into like what more I could do. And I think
Yeah.
I'm finding slowly my zhush
Yeah.
and things and stuff like that. Hmm.
The word courageous pops into my head because
Hmm.
I know how vulnerable artistic expression can be, right?
Hmm.
And so I think it's very courageous to be able to say, I'm still exploring it. I'm trying this thing and that thing, and I'm figuring
Hmm.
out, like, you know, what settles in my spirit and what feels
Yep.
good and what feels like
Yeah.
an organic, lane
Hmm.
for me. Um,
Yeah. I agree. And I think time is okay. Like, it's okay. I'm about to be 38 and people, are, oh, I should be doing this amount. No, actually, you shouldn't. When I see people that's like 10 years younger than me or even younger, my daughter's age, who she's about to be 19, it's like, you actually not supposed to be doing nothing.
yeah,
Like, you're supposed to
yeah.
just be enjoying this college life and,
Come on.
be safe, just enjoy yourself. And I think, I'm at that point in my life, like I am meeting new people,
Mm,
networking, gaining new like relationships as in friendships, gaining more
mm-hmm.
like respect. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Supporting other artists. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like big on that. Um, so yeah, I think it's just it's a new chapter, but I'm still like trying to figure things out like as I
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. I like you talking about like there's no timeline. When I was younger,
Hmm.
there was this automatic like adultification
Yeah.
of kids, right? And
Yep.
so, when you're 15 back then, when you're
Hmm.
15, it's like go to work. You're
Hmm.
working, you're getting a job, you're whether that starts in the
Hmm.
summertime or whether you're, in high school and working a job, but everybody was like working, they're working to buy school clothes, they're
Hmm.
working to do this. And I'm not mad at teaching your kids responsibility. However, also is that there's no rush to be an adult. Like There's no rush to
Exactly.
be an adult, one, and there's no rush to having it all figured out. That
Hmm.
your 20s,
Hmm.
your
That you can't
20s,
get back your 20s, man.
man,
I be
listen.
looking back, I be like, damn, I was really a mom. Like,
Same. I
I
was a
was a
whole
mom
mom in
too.
my
Like, I was like,
same,
wow. And
same.
now people be wondering, like, oh, where'd you go? I'm like, I go a lot. I'll post to sometimes. I go a lot on solo dates, and people's thinking
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, is it because you're trying to, you know, take yourself on date?" Or if I'm like, "No, I actually like to be alone. Like I've never
Yeah,
really been alone, alone, alone,
yeah,
and I like to take myself out to eat to a new restaurant, or I like
yeah,
to go for I'll find a trail, I'll get to go walk, or I'll go buy myself some new J's. It's
yeah.
been a little problem with that, but that's okay. My
Just a
budget, but I'm going back to how like not
yeah,
saying the I'm in my acting like that. I'm like, no, because I still know, like, I'm a whole grown woman.
grown woman. Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
no, we're not gonna be doing this.
yeah,
But I do have days that I just want to be like, let me just enjoy. Like
yes.
I'm in my late 30s now, right? And I'm just like, let me just enjoy that, like, because I'm
Mm-hmm.
excited when I hit 40. Like, I can't wait. I'm like pumped because I know, I feel like this in your 20s, you have they have a lot of expectations, especially nowadays, right? This
Yeah,
generation.
social
And
media.
it's like,
Mm-hmm.
they want to be married or they get married young or they have
Mm-hmm.
their kid. And I'm just like, damn, like, that's good. It's all good for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel like that's your life, that's God gave it to you, that's fine. But there are some like people who I do know who even are older than me who doesn't have children, never been married.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, but that's okay though, right? And they're like, no, my time. And I'm like, no, I think you're right on time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it'll
Mm-hmm.
happen when it's supposed to happen. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I think rushing through it, like we were talking about, it's not, I don't feel like it's going to get you anywhere. People rush through love a lot. I'm okay if we take a little bit of time because there's
Mm-hmm.
certain things I need to know about you. Like,
Yeah.
and then being okay, like if you don't get, I got asked that before. What if you never get married? Then I don't. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll be
Mm-hmm.
happy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody will pass me a Tylenol at a certain age.
I'm
Man,
crying.
somebody will
That
do something.
yeah,
But
yeah,
that's okay though. Like I feel like it's the time. Like people you just enjoy seasons is what I was told like a while ago
yeah,
when I had my book out, my first one, and then the film and stuff. They're like, enjoy this season.
yeah,
Don't rush. Don't feel like you have
yeah,
to be at every little thing or every little event or you have to post every little thing. Just
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's kind of getting out of the grind. I think that sometimes even when I'm in my pocket space, which is
Mm-hmm.
creative space, right? Even when I'm in that, I can I think I fall in and out of love with the grind. And it depends on like what the project is or what I'm working on.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't believe that I think sometimes we do it because we can, but not because we should. And
Mm-hmm.
I I think that we have not mastered the art of rest well enough to function in a grind
Yep.
as Black people. And I'm only
Yep.
speak for us because that's who I'm speaking to.
Too.
Like everyone else can apply it for
Mm-hmm.
themselves. But I'm speaking of like
Mm-hmm.
Black people. I don't think we've mastered the art of rest well enough to play the game of grind. I think
Mm-hmm.
we can do it and we do it and we've had to do it for various reasons to climb these ladders and or attain this version of success. But I think that's also another question that people need to
Yep.
ask themselves is what does success mean to me? Because
Mm-hmm.
the definition of success is very specific to the individual, in my opinion, right?
Yeah. It's
Like,
what you feel like it is and what ladder are you climbing? And
yes,
everybody has a different ladder.
yes, yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so and I don't think that is discussed as a culture enough,
Yep.
or has been, pressed upon us um to think about and consider because it's really this bar that people have
Mm-hmm.
made it versus these individual milestones for ourselves
Yeah.
individually, as to what success is. And so I would encourage folks more to determine what that means for themselves,
Yes.
and the rest. I mean, the grind can be exhausting, and we have so many things that we're managing that affect us,
Mm-hmm.
and our health, um on a regular, that we have to, I think, have those important conversations with one another and with ourselves to determine what that is, so that we're not getting caught up in this grind, in this instant gratification
Mm-hmm.
and this social media whirlwind about what
Hmm.
success is and at what point in life you should have this or that.
I agree.
I don't want
It's a
my
lot of
kids that
grace. You
either.
know, I think
Yeah.
we don't give enough grace to ourselves
Mm-hmm.
and to realize, like, I know a lot of, like some of my friends, men and women, just like, man, I need to be just focused. I need to just do this, do that. I'm like, okay, sit down though. Like,
Mm-hmm.
chill out. You did this already
Mm-hmm.
today.
Mm-hmm.
Take your time, and I think we beat ourselves up so much. And I'm like that too sometimes. I'm very more like, oh my God, I need to figure this out. I need to make this book the number one. I need to do this. And then I realize, like, you know what? It'll be what it's supposed to be
Mm-hmm.
and how it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. And I think there's a difference in the grind versus putting in the work to reach a goal,
Yeah.
right? So like you're gonna put in for your book because
Hmm.
it means something to you, right? It's your blood, sweat, tears. It is your emotional energy,
Hmm.
and put into that project. And so you're going to you're going to grind a little bit for that because you have a goal with it, and you want to see it be successful, what that means to you, right? You're going to put in the footwork to make that happen. That's very different to me than someone who lives in this constant chase.
There's some
Yeah.
people who live, breathe their job, and they're just like, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. And then it's like, they envy the ones that take vacations and I'm like, you guys
Hmm.
don't understand. Like your time away, from work or your life or whatever it is, it's you have to like reprogram yourself.
Yeah.
I like to sit in the house. I'm like, okay, let me put some candle, let me put my incense. I'm so African. And I
Look.
got like,
Oh, 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 oh. Come on,
I'd
incense.
be like this, you got to get the good stuff. Put my candles. I'm a wine. What are you watching? A Medea movie. I don't know. I just
Hmm.
have my snacks and I just don't want to be bothered. Like I don't, and I don't, and a lot of my friends, they know that. They just be like, oh no, you're just
Hmm.
chilling. Or they'll
Hmm.
know if I'm sitting by the water. They're like, oh, she's at her little spot. She ain't gonna, nope, I'm not.
Hmm. Are you a water sign?
No, I think I'm a Leo. Is that a fire
Oh, you're
sign?
a Leo.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I don't know that I would have saw that, but okay, Leo.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of yeah. This one's on the side of me, but it's
Yeah.
people assume like I'm an extrovert because I'm a people person. Like I like to talk to people. I'll say hi to a
Hmm.
stranger because I feel like why y'all
Same.
not saying hello? Like say
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
hello.
You see people speak.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
say my name, hey. I think I got more gravitated to be more of an introvert as I'm getting older because I kind of like to stay back and just like
Hmm.
watch,
Hmm.
and they will assume something's wrong with me 'cause I'm quiet. I'm
Hmm.
like, no, I just don't want to talk.
Hmm. It's called
You know?
ambivert. You're both an
Yeah,
introvert
because
and
I
an
can get with
extrovert.
it. Like,
Hmm.
okay, but best believe 10 o'clock roll around. Oh. It's it's all right.
You said I'm good for a good 1-2 step up
Yeah.
until about 9:30. Then we need to be heading home
Doing
because
the
10
like,
o'clock.
wrap this up. Some of my friends will find me at they'd be like, "Where'd you go?" I went to go to get my chicken wings. I'm like, "Tiggs, you can't be going to that casino eating your wings." Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Like by yourself. Yes, by
Love it.
myself.
I
Like,
love it.
but yeah, that's another thing. I enjoy eating alone. Like I don't,
Yeah.
or I'll meet somebody and they're like, "You came by yourself?" Yeah, I came by myself. You invited where? Who's gonna come with me?
I do solo outings also, like, and
Yeah.
not I don't know that there's any intention behind it. It's just that I
Hmm.
will, right?
Yeah.
And like I enjoy being out with friends, and I also
Hmm.
am cool with being out by myself. And if I want to do something and I just want to go do it without like the fuss and coordinating and
Mhm.
whatever, then I'll just go do it. And
Exactly.
I think people would do well when they learn how to be with themselves. Like I think sometimes
Yes.
that could be hard for people. Um,
Yes.
I um I I love hanging out with me.
Yeah. I think
I
I'm
love
great.
people though. I love people and I love it. It's just that when I do
Mhm.
land at time, whether I'm at home, whatever, that I'm by myself, like I'm cool with that because I still have a time with myself because I
Mhm.
like me.
Yeah.
Like,
And see, that's
um,
what it is. You like yourself
hmm
enough and respect yourself that you wouldn't let somebody come up and disrespect your peace. That's another thing a
yeah,
lot of people don't
yeah,
realize. And
yeah.
that's why I think they will never try you.
They might
Yeah,
try, but they
they
gonna
might
get
try, but they ain't gonna
met with
last.
like, yeah, it's like, oh, okay, cool. No,
Because you enjoy yourself though,
yeah,
right? And that's the whole
yeah.
point of like in life. I'd rather
Hmm.
be alone or just
Hmm.
be by myself than, trying to figure out what this is or anything like that.
Yeah.
But, you
I
know,
think the other thing is I'm not at a place where
hmm
I'm willing to figure anything out. I'm not figuring anything
hmm
out. If it's
Yep.
not clear, if it's not evident, if it's not vocalized and
Yep.
you're demonstrating your words
hmm
out loud, meaning I see it in action, then
hmm
I'm nobody. If I'm in a deep relationship with someone and I notice something's off and I'm like trying to understand what's going on with that person because I've studied them, I know them and I've learned them and I see something's off and then I need to be curious and inquisitive and supportive of them. When I see a change, that's very different
Yeah.
in terms of figuring out. But if I'm
Yes.
trying to figure out where we stand, who we are
Right.
to each, oh no, ma'am, no ham, no turkey.
Nope.
Nope. That's what I'm
Nope.
not gonna do. Yeah,
You
and I don't
know?
give a situation any more
hmm
energy than what it deserves. So if we're hanging out and it's friendly, then we're hanging out
Because
and
it's
it's
friendly.
friendly, right? And if I hear from you once a week, then you're going to get once a week energy if that's what I feel like being okay with. But that's a
hmm
friend. If a friend contacts you once a week, twice a week, whatever, then cool. That's not necessarily that's not to me in pursuit of someone.
hmm
Someone being in pursuit of someone, but also paying attention to those things and being able to understand what someone is demonstrating
Yep.
to you instead of saying, well, why aren't you? Well, why aren't they
Mm-mm.
nothing else matters other than what they're showing you. So don't worry
Mhm.
about the whys and it ain't about you.
Yep.
And you know what I mean?
No, I agree. I agree.
Like,
And I think that's like my whole like series now with this book is these kind of conversations.
yes.
Like people don't really have like we have these conversations, but it's like really
Yeah.
having these conversations, you know?
Yeah. So what conversation do you hope this book starts for folks?
I think I hope it starts with just being transparent, being
Yeah.
authentic. It's okay if you want to be in love or you never fell in love or you had this
Yeah.
image of somebody that you wish you kind of gave a chance but
Mm-hmm.
it never really happened, because
Mm-hmm.
everything in this book is very fantasy, but it is real. Like certain
Yeah.
feelings I had, and I never thought I will experience, especially with everything that happened to me, even
Yeah.
after what happened to me, having another kid and not
Yeah.
another failed relationship. And I'm like, okay, this is it. Like, I got
Yeah.
these people. So I'm like,
Yeah.
and now that I'm at, turning 38, I'm like, okay, what does this look like? But I just wanted to be like transparent, open, like the dialogue we had just about, you know, communication and like expressing. And it's okay to, treat somebody nice,
Mm-hmm.
or show them something different that they never experienced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I just have an open dialogue, is kind of what I'm looking for. Because I feel like we just, especially in our community, there's so much happening, we really don't know like somebody like feelings, even though sometimes we don't like to talk
Mm-hmm.
about it, but it's like nice
Mm-hmm.
to talk about it. Cause I have a lot,
Mm-hmm.
like some of my homeboys, they be talking about their feelings,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh, okay, That's
Mm-hmm.
good. Some of them, they were told like, not to talk about it, right? Or they're called sensitive and stuff. And I'm just like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't think you're sensitive. I think it's okay to have feelings.
And guess what? I also think it's okay to be sensitive
Yeah, I don't
if
understand. So,
that's who you're
okay,
wired to be.
somebody said that like some of these, and I'm like, what's wrong with a man being sensitive?
Mm-mm. I think that society has created this idea of masculinity. And we see it popping up in our politics as to
Yes.
what it looks like to be a man, like looks like,
Hmm.
but that is nothing but a shell of a man. Like your
Hmm.
masculinity, should not be solely dependent upon if you have a
Hmm.
body that says you work out 5 days a week.
Right.
Your masculinity should not be wrapped up into whether or not um you can take a punch. Your
Yeah.
masculinity should not be wrapped up in how strong you can be and how you're not emotionally tied to anything, how you
Hmm.
can't be phased. Your masculinity should not be wrapped up solely in your ability to produce, or how you
Hmm.
perform sexually, or
Yep.
how many zeros you have at the end of your annual income. Like
Right.
it should not be wrapped up in those things, because nothing in what I just expressed talks about how you feel and who you are
Exactly.
as a person and what your
Hmm.
values are, and
Hmm.
how you
Yeah.
treat other people and care for other people and how you live in community.
Hmm.
That is for people who live in the mind space of
Hmm.
individualism, not
Yep.
people who live in community. And Black people are born and created to live in community. And so when we have that clash of
Yep.
community versus masculinity, it's a
Hmm.
disaster, right?
It is. It is. It really is. And I think sometimes like people who I do know, some guys that were really good friends, I like I like when they do open up and
Mhm,
certain about because I know it's
mhm.
like a weird, but the way they open up is we're in their zone,
Yeah,
right? We're
yeah,
like at a sports bar or
yeah,
sitting down just talking, and then randomly they'll say something. I'm like, oh, okay, hold on, they're talking. Like,
yeah.
like
Let me
wait,
let me
so
shut up
okay,
and let it go.
yeah. I'll be like, what you said? Say that again.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and I think it's
yeah.
nice. I'm just like, this is probably what they needed.
Yeah. Giving
But
people a
yeah,
safe space, right? Like
yeah.
vulnerability is scary.
Hmm.
And being people's safe space and them knowing it won't be weaponized. Like this is a safe space for me
Exactly.
because it won't be weaponized against me. I won't be belittled for it, or it
Hmm.
won't be brought up against me to make me feel less of a person or less of a man,
Hmm.
because
Yep.
you know this of me. So it's, to me, building those safe spaces, and
Hmm.
which goes back to choosing the making smart decisions about the people who we allow in our life.
Yep.
um you know
I agree.
what do you feel like has changed in you since your last book? Not just about your the way that you prepared
Hmm.
or your writing process, but what do you think
Hmm.
has, and I don't even want to use the word changed. I want to use the word maybe evolved.
Yeah.
What has evolved in you
Mm.
from writing your last book to writing this current book?
I think I'm more open. I
Mm,
think 'cause in the beginning I always like I was really scared.
mm-hmm.
And there's a lot on that first book I took out, like
Yeah.
a lot. And like, but now I'm just kind of like, nope, I'm gonna talk about how I feel. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna be open and
Mm-hmm.
I'm open to more conversations like this. I'm more like, I want to say I'm becoming like my adult, I'm adulting, but I could tell like, okay, I'm getting to that mature,
Mm-hmm.
even the way sometimes I dress a little bit, I could tell. Like, I'm like, hold on.
Say more. What does this look
Like,
like?
like I realized like I'm very like, oh, this is probably who I really am. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because I do I wouldn't call it like tomboyish, right?
Yeah.
But I do like my sneakers.
Yeah.
And I know some guys, they're like, you don't wear heels. Like, no, I go out and wear heels. Don't get it
Mm-hmm.
twisted. However, I do like to be comfortable. I could tell like, okay, I don't mind
Mm-hmm.
showing a little bit, but I also like to keep a little
Mm-hmm.
bit. I notice I'm getting to that era of my life. I'm like, wait
Mm-hmm.
a minute. I'm like, where's my bodysuit at? Like, but
Yeah, yeah,
now
yeah.
I'm more like, no, I want to like, I could
Yeah.
tell like just
Yeah.
a little bit. So I think just evolving into like the person I vision myself.
Yes.
But I know that's also God's plan. Even writing this book, like I go to like some paint stuff. I tried like play pool now. I try to
Yeah.
do like I'm thinking, oh, okay, I'm starting to figure out like what I like. And I
Yeah.
think with this book, it made me open up so much things in my mind about
Mm,
just like love and relationships and not being afraid of like where I'm at in my life with it
yeah.
and like who I'm becoming. And, sometimes I'm too nice. People are like, oh, you're too nice. And I'm like, no, I just, it's okay to be nice to somebody. It's okay to
Mm-hmm.
do something. Like, if it's not going to hurt you, kindness is free,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
people put a label on it and people put an expectation on it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, anything I ever did for somebody, I never have expectations, right? So I
Yeah.
think that's where I'm at in my life. It's like, it's okay to bless somebody. It's okay to be kind. It's so,
Yes.
being a little open minded.
Yes. That's a little bit that to me is another layer of vulnerability though, right? Like
Mhm.
kindness kindness to me is being who you desire to be despite what's on the other side of that,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Um and so if I'm doing an act of kindness, I'm doing it not expecting anything. I'm doing it
Mhm.
because it's what's on my spirit to do.
Yes.
And
Yep.
if my intention, whether I live up to that intention every single time or not, is to move in the world with kindness,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Then I'm not upset when it's not demonstrated on the other side. I
Yep.
just see you. I see you, right?
That's it. I just see
And
right.
yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Also learning, even writing with this book, that how people present themselves and how what they show you. I'm just gonna
Mhm.
believe it. That's it.
Well, I could sit here. We
I
did this
know.
last time. I was like, I will talk your ears off for a good 2, 3 hours here. But tell us where we could find the book. Tell folks where they could purchase this book.
You could purchase it on Amazon. It's called Almost Real, Tigest Beyene. My IG is Love Tigist 25, and all my links are there. And you can also see the documentaries on YouTube, Walk by Faith, and Love, Sex, and Sorrow is on the link as well. So definitely go ahead and purchase it. If you get it, post it. Let me know how you feel. Send me a message. I'm very open to conversations and if people have follow up questions and stuff.
I love it. And I'll post some of the links on my IG also. So keep your eyes open for those. I'll tag to guess in the post. So for folks who are sometimes challenged at finding people on IG, even when you have the
Mhm.
handle given to you, I will help you with that also.
Guide you through the life.
I will help you with that also. But please support, please go out and get the book and support. And again, I hope as you continue to release projects that we can continue to connect and share those
Yes.
projects with others. I enjoy having you on and talking with you, and we're excited to see what you continue to do,
Yeah.
and how we can continue to support. So, yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
go make the purchase, go make the follow. Go back and listen to the first episode so you can be a part of the full journey. So
Hmm.
how things came about and what her journey has been over these years, and it helps to appreciate the ways that we are in a space where we can have a somewhat of a front seat to this journey that you're going on. So, thank you for joining us today. Always a pleasure. And
Thank you.
to our listeners, be well.